Today I take a brilliant question which relates back to a previous episode we've done where today I answer the question, to what degree do I attribute my success to the personal development I have done? My initial instinct was to say 100%, however then I remembered another ingredient which is just as, if not more important to who you are in your own personal development, and I let that roll in this very episode.
28 and I'm trying to shape history, pulling from the sky for some strength to take with me. Line up the stars, fly away quickly and push the world forward like a tidal wave hit me. I ride the wave swiftly, I fear no
I am honestly baffled by the fact that Rosie is English and the fact that I just found out and thought that she was actually taking the piss out of this poor bloke, and it turns out she just switches back into a very, I was like, that's a really good English accent. Reason being, she's English.
I'll read this question out in an English accent.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, but I'm going to bring the mic even closer.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. This is Rosie's English accent. Let's go.
Oh, no, I feel under pressure now.
You are under pressure.
Actually, Jack, I was going to ask a similar question during episode 100 of Ask Jack D last weekend. How much of your success do you attribute to personal development? And what ratio of hours do you suggest per week on PD versus everyday hustle? Was that good? Did that sound English?
It's like a proper English person. But of course it is, right? Okay, now, so what was I was so spellbound by the accent. Okay, the question is, how much of my success do I attribute to personal development?
From Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, I actually saw this question come up on social when you posted it, and I thought it was really interesting. And my first instinct was to go 100%, right? 100% of my success comes down to how I have developed and how I have consciously created myself as a person, as it is true for everybody. Like I just wrote a chapter on Mandela, for instance, for Unwritten, and my book Unwritten is coming out in May. And, you know, Mandela, in his first court case, he came out, he was found not guilty in that particular court case. He was obviously later found guilty. He spent 27 years behind bars. But in that particular court case, he was found not guilty, and he came out and they decided if he was found guilty, obviously he would be going to jail, but they decided if he was found not guilty, then he would disappear and he'd go underground. And he says he was walking out of the courtroom and he said, I realised at that point I had three things to do. I had three things, he didn't say on his to-do list, but he had like a to-do list of three things. Number one was disappear, two was build an army, and number three was start a revolution. And he said that would be a tall order for an army general, let alone somebody who had never fired a gun at an enemy, somebody who had never been engaged in battle. And he said, I had no idea how to do that, so I set about learning how to start a revolution the only way I knew how, which was by reading books and talking to people who had done that before me, right? And so it's amazing when we talk about someone like a Nelson Mandela, it's almost like somebody who's that larger-than-life, iconic type figure. You just figure they would like put on the earth and just were always this revolutionary. Mandela was not born a revolutionary. Mandela taught himself to become a revolutionary, right? So, if you look at Steve Jobs as an entrepreneur, or like everything he believed in, around marketing and marketing his values, and everything he knew around sort of design and everything he applied around design and simplicity. They were all principles that he borrowed from Buddhism and Zen, which he sort of started to accumulate when he was young, and he travelled around India for 4 months looking for, different monks to learn from, right? So all of the different aspects of everybody's skill set, some are innate talents, obviously, but you don't have an innate talent for marketing, right? You might have an innate talent for connecting with people, and then you need to learn from there, how does that actually translate into the real world and bridge the gap between our business and the public, and how does that happen? It's all learned, right? It's all developed. However, so my first instinct was to go 100%. 100% of my success, and probably everybody's success, is due to their personal development, and under that I would also put professional development. Then I thought, hold on. No, actually, I was with somebody at the time and they said, but Jack, you work harder than anybody else I know. So it can't just be all down to the personal development. Surely a lot of it has come down to your work ethic, right? And that's true. I can work so much and so hard and to such a sort of high output that, energy management is a big thing for me. I can crash and burn at different times, a couple of hours and I'm good. But I can work myself too much often. You find your limits. I'm often going past the limits or going over those boundaries, if you like. And I found that to be a really interesting comment because it reminded me of a whole bunch of people I know and a whole bunch of people that I've met throughout the years who've done a whole bunch of personal development and a whole bunch of, learning about business and professional development and all of that sort of stuff, but they don't work, right? Or they continue to work, but in an endeavor that's not aligned to who they truly are. It's not aligned to actually, building their dreams. But often it's just they're not putting in the work, they're not putting in the hours. So upon reflection, what I would say is 50% of my success has come down to my personal development and 50% has come down to my work ethic, because I could have done all the personal development, I could have read all the books, I could have spoken to all the people, I could have surrounded myself with the best business people in Australia. And had I have not put that into action with the sort of rigor and aggression that I tend to do, then nothing would have happened. I just would have been another person that knew all the shit without doing anything, so I wouldn't actually know any shit, right? I think it was Buddha who said to know and not do is to not yet know. So the personal development is 50% of it, then putting it into action and actually bridging that intent and bridging that knowledge and bridging that skill set into real world action is the next 50%, and they are both equally important. In the comments below, what degree has what do you think it is? Percentage-wise, is it 50-50 for you, like personal development, work ethic? Is it 80-20? Is it 20-80? What is your view on what is the percentage split between what we know and what we do? In the comments below, episode 124. Really good question today, guys. I look forward to continuing the conversation tomorrow. Wait, we've got this question from Snapchat. Rosie didn't remind me of that. She was supposed to remind me. I should leave the English accents to you, shouldn't I? Tristan from Snapchat asked this question. Let it roll.
Jack, it's been really good seeing you adopting Snapchat so much, but I wanted to know from you, what's your number one platform for people to reach out, connect and ask you questions?
Tristan, really good question, and thank you for asking it, brother. I really appreciate that. Main platform to ask question is videos on Instagram are the best, and just tag me and use the hashtag AskJackD. Videos on Instagram are the best. Second to that is Facebook, but using my public sort of profile, it's just facebook.com/Delosa. And then use Snapchat for just day-to-day conversations. Snapchat aren't great for asking questions for Ask Jack D because they disappear. So Instagram and Facebook for Ask Jack D. Snapchat, talk to me all day, every day. I will reply. I'm there. We can chat. I'm chatting with a lot of people all of the time, just for daily conversation. Use Snapchat. Really good question, Tristan. Look forward to speaking with all you guys tomorrow.
I've just actualized a wish that I dreamed as a kid. Cause I'm lining